So there's a note about this method that I feel like that I should share on here. This technically isn't my shifting method. It is my ex-friend's. I asked her for permission for me to share this. Like when I used to be friends with her. I'm not friends with her for like a lot of personal reasons that I don't want to list here on YouTube. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't mind me like sharing this, even though like me and her aren't like friends anymore, because like she's like not into like shifting anymore. But I know that like she did tell me that she did like shift with this method of hers that she made. I will share her like shifting story later on in this video. Oh, and this is called the Janna method, which like I named for her because like that was like a nickname for her because she's like this cartoon character from this like cartoon called Star vs. the Forces of Evil, which is like a Disney cartoon. Just because she has like the same weird personality as that character. And I didn't want to put like her actual name on this method to protect her privacy. First, you're going to write your DR script, and then you're going to visualize in your mind the things that you wrote on that said script. You visualize it while you're like writing your script and while you're like rereading it to yourself. Then you're going to get one small object in your room that reminds you of your DR. It's kind of like this anime girl character, Lucy Horfilia, from the anime Fairy Tale, where this pink fairy marking on her hand it reminds her of how she's a part of the Fairy Tale Guild as an official member, as a celestial wizard herself. Anyways, the small object that reminds you of your DR, it can be these things. It can be a piece of jewelry. It can be a necklace. It can be a bracelet. Or it can be a crystal. Just make sure that it's small. Or better yet, you can combine like a crystal and like a piece of jewelry into one. That's what my ex-friend told me. She said to me that she used a rose quartz crystal. She specifically told me that she used, like, right here in this image, is an example of like what she used, which is like a rose quartz crystal point pendant necklace. So you can also use a crystal pendant necklace as well. I think this worked for her because the rose quartz crystal, it helps with like love and it connects to your like heart chakra. And I truly feel like people connect your heart and emotions with shifting. So this part, it contains like the pillow shifting method. You then put your DR script and your small object that reminds you of your DR. You put them both underneath your pillow and then you go to sleep and you should wake up in your DR. So, what my ex-friend told me about her shifting experience with this method of hers. Firstly, she used a crystal point pendant necklace for the object that reminds her of her DR for this method of hers. She told me that when she opened her eyes, that she saw like a large wormhole portal in front of her, and that her body went through it, that she felt it going in the portal. And then like she opened her eyes again and saw that she was in her DR. She told me that she made it to her DR, which is the Life is Strange video game, which is like where she had been wanting to go to. She told me that she woke up inside of Chloe Price's house in a room. She said that she looked in a mirror in the room and saw her own reflection, and that like it was like 3D where she could like move around and stuff, and that she was in the same art style as the video game, and that like she talked to Chloe. She told me that Chloe like looked at her and asked her like who she was, like asking her like what her name was, and like asked her what she was doing there, and like she told her that like she didn't want her to leave her house because she was like feeling lonely and wanted to talk to somebody. And so like they both talked about like random things. In summary, for this method,